Tonight when you get in bed, turn on a movie and doze off. Imagine this. 7 police officers bust down your door with a battering ram and shoot your partner 6 times, leaving her for dead. Let that sink in. Say her name, Breonna Taylor. Those closest to Breonna have come together for their first interview. Breonna Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, her sister, Janiyah, and her boyfriend, Kenny, who was with her the night she was killed. So this is the first time the 3 of you have done an interview together since that horrific night. I just want to say it is an honor to have you guys here with us. And this is a story that has always been supremely important to our family. I'm just glad you agreed to talk to us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Before Breonna Taylor became a global rallying cry in the name of justice, she was a dedicated 26-year-old EMT who worked 2 jobs to save for nursing school. Her friends and family knew her as Bree and say her infectious smile and big personality could light up a room. She posted about her dream of marrying her boyfriend Kenny and becoming a mom.
You want to be my baby daddy? Do you want to be my baby daddy?
Yes.
And we gonna have fun, baby?
Yes.
When?
Today.
Ooh.
Those dreams were tragically and senselessly cut short. In the early hours of March 13th, 2020, as Breonna and Kenny watched a movie in bed, they heard loud banging on their apartment door. Terrified, they had no idea what was happening. Within seconds, Breonna had been shot 6 times and lied dying in her hallway.
911, where's their emergency?
I don't know what's happening. Somebody kicked in the door inside my girlfriend.
After 2.5 years of denial and deception by officials, the appalling truth about Breonna's death is finally coming out. The police lied and then tried to cover it up. Wow.
You know, it's really, really hard to sit here and listen to that again. I can't imagine how difficult it is for you guys.
Mm-hmm. Kenny, you were with Breonna that night that she was killed. Can you take us through that tragic day?
The day didn't begin so tragic. Neither one of us could have ever imagined it ending the way it did. It was a normal day. We were out to eat, just enjoying each other's company, just me and her. We was tired after, so we're just gonna go in the house and just chill. That's what makes the situation even more crazy. What place do you feel more safe than in the comfort of your own home?
Yeah.
Thinking it's been a good day and it's gonna be a good night.
Yeah.
I can remember the night still pretty vividly. We began to watch a movie, Freedom Writers, but she fell asleep on me. Like she did that a lot. So.
Right.
So I probably kind of dozed off too.
Got it.
There was a banging on the door. Started both of us. You know, it was late at night.
Breonna and Kenny had no idea that just outside their front door, 7 plainclothes police officers were waiting to serve a search warrant. One we now know was based on faulty information and lies. The focus of their investigation is Breonna's ex-boyfriend, who was arrested earlier that night, 10 miles away.
So, you know, if someone's knocking on your door at 1 o'clock in the morning, that's weird.
Yeah.
When I say, who is it? At least give some type of brief explanation of what's going on. Breonna says, who is it? Loud. There's no response. There's nothing on in this apartment but the TV, which is down low because we were planning to go to sleep on it anyway.
Right.
There's no other lights on. There's no other sounds. So just like we can hear someone knocking on the door, they should be able to hear her saying, who is this?
Yeah.
A couple of seconds go by, now we're getting up, trying to put on some clothes and go see who's at the door. There's another bang at the door. She says, who is it again? There's still no answer. So I'm like, now it's getting even weirder. Like by the
It's the police.
Right.
So now us thinking it's the police is way out of the question after you've banged on the door twice and not said it's the police.
That's right.
I'm not a criminal, a felon. She's not a criminal, felon. So we have no reason not to open the door, even if it may have been the police, which we don't have a clue who it is at this time.
If you would have told her who you were, she would have opened the door because she's one of those people. She's never been in trouble in her life.
Of course, I grabbed my gun, which is legal.
Yep.
I'm a gun owner.
Yep.
And still have a legal gun license to this day. Now, at this point, I'm getting mad. Now I'm saying who is it along with her.
Right.
Still nothing. When we get up to exit the bedroom to see who's at the door burst open. Am I supposed to stand there and say, oh, who is breaking in? Or am I supposed to do something about it right now?
Exactly. Right. When they burst in the door, what happened right after that?
I shot my gun. I just feel like, what other choice do I have?
No, it makes all the sense in the world.
And you have that right in that state.
You have that right in that state.
Exactly. You have the right to stand your ground.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said, once I shoot my gun, any person in their right mind should feel like whatever you were coming here for, it's not worth it.
Right, exactly.
So that shouldn't make you turn around and go the other way. So never in my wildest imagination could I have thought that 30 or however many shots would have been coming back.
Right. The New York Times scoured thousands of legal documents and hundreds of hours of testimony to recreate almost second by second what happened the night Breonna was killed. The voices you're about to hear are Kenny and the 3 officers who fired their guns that night. Sergeant John Mattingly, Detective Brett Hankerson, and Detective Miles Cosgrove.
The light on the bedroom, the TV. I remember seeing it lit up blue when we pulled up.
What happened in the final minutes of Breonna Taylor's life? A full telling of that story has been impeded because none of the 7 police officers who raided her apartment used body cameras, a violation of police policy. When 7 officers begin the raid at 12:40 a.m., they notice the lights are off, except for the flicker of a TV in a bedroom. The only light is this lamp opposite her door.
When we all got up in line, I knocked on the door, banged on it.
The police are supposed to be conducting a knock and announce raid, but that's not what Mattingly says happens at first.
We didn't announce the first couple because our intent was to give her plenty of time to come to the door. Banged on the door, no response. Banged on it again, no response. At that point, we started announcing ourselves.
Whether the police announce themselves clearly enough is a critical issue in this story.
I can hear somebody inside. I kept telling John, I can hear her.
But after knocking and waiting for around 45 seconds, they decided they've given her enough time to respond and rammed the door open.
The last time, I just said, let's just hit it.
After the third hit, it flew open, and that's when it hit the fan.
As we're coming to the door like comes off the hinges, like an explosion.
Mattingly steps into the doorway and puts himself in what police describe as the fatal funnel, a position vulnerable to gunfire and hard to move from.
I could see down the hallway, and there's the male and a female, side by side, shoulder to shoulder.
The apartment is lit only by the breezeway light that's coming from behind Mattingly and the faint glare of the TV in Taylor's bedroom. Thinking it's an intruder, Walker aims low, shoots once, and hits Mattingly in the thigh. Mattingly immediately returns fire.
I got 4 rounds off, and it was like boom, 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 boom.
Then all of a sudden there's a whole lot of shots.
Mattingly fires 2 more rounds when he falls and takes cover. Almost at the same time, Cosgrove moves in and fires, stepping on Mattingly in the process. And although he's shooting, he appears to have no idea what's happening.
I see blinding, vivid white light and blackness at the same time. I don't hear any gunfire at all, ever. And I did not have any pain sensation or any recollection that I'm firing.
He continues shooting blindly until he runs out of ammunition.
If you told me I didn't fire a gun, I'd be like, okay, I believe you.
In response to Walker's shot, Mattingly and Cosgrove together fire 4 shots into a chair, cupboards, and a stove in the kitchen. 2 bullets go into the ceiling and pass through the living room in the apartment above. 3 more shots go into the living room wall to the right, and the officers fire 13 rounds down the hallway where Taylor and Walker stood. Taylor is shot 6 times on both sides of her body, in the abdomen and chest, her arm and leg, and twice in her foot. An FBI ballistics report found that both of them shot Taylor, and that one of the 16 rounds Cosgrove fired was the lethal bullet.
We both dropped to the ground, but I just hear her screaming.
Thinking they're under attack, Some of the officers flee when they hear a pause in shooting.
I can hear the firing as I'm making the corner. I can see the flashes, the muzzle flashes.
But the only ones shooting are police. Even though all the curtains are drawn, Hankinson blindly fires 5 bullets through the patio windows.
My only option was to return fire, and I did that to the muzzle flashes.
He moves and fires 5 more rounds through the bedroom window of Taylor's sister, who isn't home. The bullets that go into the living area pass over Taylor's sofa and kitchen table and smash her clock. 3 penetrate the wall and enter her neighbour's apartment. Those bullets also smash the kitchen table, hit a wall, and shatter the patio doors at the rear. A pregnant woman, her son and partner were home. In total, the police fire 32 bullets, penetrating almost every room in Taylor's apartment. And 3 minutes after police came to search her home, a fatally wounded Taylor is lying on the ground.
Wow. I just don't understand, nothing about it makes sense to me. What is in need of these many shots?
Exactly.
Kenny, when you were in there, what did you think was happening? I can't even imagine what you thought was happening.
I couldn't either.
You had no idea?
No idea at all.
So when all those shots were fired, you were there with Breonna. You still don't know what's happening.
So they're outside they're shooting outside into the apartment.
Absolutely.
Right. So they don't come into the apartment. They stay outside and they shoot into the apartment.
When I shot my guy, I never saw anybody at all. It was pitch black.
Tamika, how did you find out what happened?
Kenneth called me and said someone kicked the door in and they shot Bree. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I was asleep at the time. I jumped up out of the bed and dropped the phone.
I remember I called you after. I called my mom first.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what else to do. We were in trouble. I'm like, I don't know really what just happened.
Totally.
She's like, call the police.
Yeah.
911, where's your emergency?
I don't know what's happening. Somebody kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend.
Okay, how old is your girlfriend?
She's 26. Bree.
You said 26. Where was she alert and able to talk to you?
No, she's not. Bree. God.
Okay, and you said you're in apartment number 4?
Hell. Oh, my God. Yes, hell.
What's your name, sir?
Oh, my name is Kenneth Walker.
You said Kenneth? Can you check and see where she's been shot at?
I can't, that's something.
Okay. Is she alert and able to talk to you?
No, Bree.
Okay.
I think oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Can you get her turned over on her back? I need for you to check her and see where she shot at.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I gotta go, Mama.
Okay.
I gotta go. You back.
Kenneth, can you hear me?
I just want to say, having to relive this is really painful.
Mm-hmm.
But because so much is going on in the world, so many people get desensitized. That's why we want to just tell the story in the way that we're telling it, so that people can be reminded how tragic this is and the importance of continuing to fight and talk about this.
Yeah.
Kenny, then what happened?
I called the police, so I'm thinking they're here to help. And I'm right here holding Bree as she's bleeding. And I'm still not knowing that it was the police that did this, but I'm now knowing that they're outside. Now I hear them yelling outside, so I've come out. So I'm like, I guess, I'm a black man, in America. Right. I'm not going to go out there trying to explain too much or anything. I'm like, the only way for her to possibly even get me up is if I go outside. Yeah. So either they're going to shoot and kill me and then they come help her, or they're going to talk to me and then they'll come help her. Either way, I have to go outside.
Yeah.
That's where all the footage, started.
After the raid, the scene outside is chaos. Around this time, Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, is being arrested.
You've been hit by a bullet. That's unfortunate. Keep walking backwards.
Hey, come on, we need to get moved because there might be a victim inside.
Walk backwards. Keep walking backwards. You're scared, right? this come? Walk back to me!
Walker had called 911 and neighbours had heard his pleas for help.
That's what's going on.
But at 1 a.m., almost 20 minutes after the shooting, the police still don't know Taylor is critically injured inside.
There's somebody in there dead?
Yeah, my girlfriend. It's her house.
We have to go in if there's somebody.
What is this about? We're both just regular worker people.
Where's she?
Girlfriend is dead.
I don't give. Keep walking.
We were in the bed. We were scared. No, we didn't know who it was.
As Walker is being led out, SWAT gets ready to secure the apartment.
What the? Hey, front door. Yeah, front door. Moving. Short. Clear.
Left side clear.
Go ahead and get EMS in here.
Let me check her pulse.
Only now, half an hour after the raid began, does an EMT finally check Taylor.
She's done. Yeah, get her to hold right there.
And later, as two officers stand guard, they take in the scene. They see Taylor's uniform. She worked as an emergency room technician in city hospitals. They note the bullet holes.
Body level.
Hey, can anybody advise if we talk to the neighbors directly above this apartment? There's gunshot holes in the ceiling.
Outside, the SWAT officers debrief on what they've seen.
Hey, camera's off there, Bike.
Yeah, mine's off. This is the one that said that he is today.
Watching the video and you trying to get help for Breonna. And there's no compassion for the fact that there's a dying
someone
woman
has been shot.
And
No
having
compassion, no concern. They actually stepped over her.
Also, the fact that you are trying to save your girlfriend. You have no idea what is going on. Nobody is explaining anything to you. These people are treating you like a criminal. Having it pieced together like this, it just gives you so much more reality.
Right.
On what actually occurred. And I'm so sorry. I just want to say that because I can't even imagine.
There's no amount of sorries that fixes
can even fix it, you know? But it just goes to show you how important it is to tell
the story.
Because through all of it, we're dealing with our rage.
Right.
We're dealing with our disappointment. We don't really get to let the loss and what has actually happened, the despair, settle in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know about that too.
I
I
know
never
you
got
do.
to. 'Cause I was, of course, in jail like immediately after.
One of the people said, he was like, oh, were you shot? And you said no. And then he said, that's unfortunate. So I'm like,
Why'd you feel comfortable enough to even say something?
like there has to be some sort of objective that everyone's missing.
Mind you, how they're searching and nobody's helping her still.
Nobody even tried to.
One of the
No, it's in this
SWAT
video.
team tried to help and they told her she's dead, leave her alone.
Yeah. No, one of them stepped over her and he was like, oh, she's gone. And they kind of like chuckled, like, you know, it was like a.
So after that, the police know that she is hurt from that 911 call, and they pay no attention to Breonna, and then they arrest you.
There were actually guys on the scene that I went to school with and stuff that were officers.
Wow.
So when I was in the back of the police car, I hear people outside, and they're just acting like it's a normal day on the job. They're just shooting jokes. And I see one of the guys that I went to school with, like he wanted to talk to me, but the other guys just kind of like, nah. I mean, he really didn't defend me, like right there with him, even though he knows he went to school with me. He's never seen me in trouble. He's never seen, just kind of went along with what they were saying about me right there. But then, you know, another one of them that I knew who was on the scene, he kind of sat back. But then, you know, he ended up apologizing to me, you know, at a later day, like, man, I didn't know, you know, all this was going on.
Yeah,
So he left off the scene, then pulled over in a random parking lot.
No.
Another unmarked police car pulls up behind the city police car that I'm in. A guy comes out and he's talking to me. I'm in the back, of course, with the handcuffs on. They roll my window down. Now his mood and vibe is totally different than the ones who were just on the scene. He's not yelling at me. He's not threatening me and stuff. He's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, man, where's Breonna? Is Breonna okay? He said, we'll talk about that when we get down here to the station. We just want to let you know there's been a huge misunderstanding and we're going to get to the bottom of it.
A huge misunderstanding?
Yeah, this is what was said to me. I'm asking, like, where's Breonna? Where's Breonna? He's like, we'll get to that when we get down here.
So they took you to jail, and Breonna, as far as you know, was still in the house.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I saw her,
She
I
was
was
bleeding.
in the hallway.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
once I come out...
still clinging to life at that point.
Exactly. If they would have did their jobs, did what you're supposed to do when someone's injured on a crime scene, you're supposed to render them aid.
If they would have shot both of you, I just wonder, would they have just been like, well, I guess time to go back to the station? I don't
There's nothing to wonder.
The thing of it is, if Kenny wouldn't have lived, we probably wouldn't have never known what happened that night because they've never been honest about the situation. Kenny lets off one shot, and to return fire with 30 plus shots, they were determined to not leave a witness.
Yes. That's a really good point, Tamika. Yeah. That is a really good point.
Wow.
Determined not to leave a witness. Police took Kenny to the station where they interrogated him for hours.
Of course, now I'm knowing what they're probably accusing me of at this point, so I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to ask me questions about me. I'm like, listen, I'll get to that and be like, where is Breonna? Is Breonna okay? Like, is she alive? And nobody's answering my questions.
Yeah.
So I had to find out, like, what happened on the news sitting in jail. They didn't say her name or mine, but they said what happened, and they said a woman was killed. Like, that's how I found out.
Oh, wow.
That's how you found out?
Yeah, that's how I found out.
While Kenny was being taken to jail, Tamika arrived at Breonna's apartment. Tamika, when you arrived, you weren't allowed in for several hours.
When I got there, it's like flooded with police cars. All you see is these red and blue lights everywhere, and there's a officer at the end of the road. And I tell them who I am and why I'm there because Kenny is the one who called to inform me, you know, what had happened. This officer tells me that 2 ambulances went through there and that I needed to go to the hospital. And so I do. The lady there tells me to hang tight, that they don't see her there yet. I'm there for almost 2 hours. And so then she finally comes back and says, there's not even a record of this person being on the way. And so I jump up and I run out of there because I have to go back. Like, something is wrong. And I pull in down to where the apartment is. There's a bunch of officers just kind of hanging around, laughing and joking around with each other. And so, of course, I'm instantly charging through, and they're like, you can't go through there, what's going on? And again, I tell them who I am and why I'm there. And so they tell me to hang tight, that a detective would come over and talk to me, which took about 45 minutes to another hour.
Yeah.
He asked me if I knew anybody who would want to hurt Breonna or Kenny. And I'm like, absolutely not. And he asked me if Breonna and Kenny had been having any problems. And I said, are you insinuating that Kenny did something to Breonna? Because he would never do that. And he said, no, I'm just trying to figure out what happened here tonight.
When did you find out that Breonna had passed?
It wasn't until about 11:30 a.m.
Oh, my God.
And mind you, we had been out there since 1 a.m. The detective comes back over and says, it won't be much longer that we'll be able to get in there. And so by this time, I'm pissed. Like, I'm screaming at him, like, why won't you tell me where Breonna is? I need to know where Breonna is. And he just looks at me and says, well, ma'am, she's still in the apartment. And so I knew what that meant. I knew what it meant. He never said it, but I knew. And I said to him, I need to see her. How do you know it's her? And he said, well, we've identified her through paperwork.
So they never took her to the hospital?
They never even attempted to help her.
What was really crazy is that Breonna was a first responder.
First responder. She was emergency
and the
medical
first
tech.
responders failed her. They just left her there all those hours.
And it wasn't until I heard on the TV that the police was in a shootout with a known drug dealer and sees Breonna's apartment on the news that I learned that the police had shot her, because they never told me that when I was there. And so to leave there and still not know what happened was insane.
Yeah.
And then the detective gave me a card to call, and I immediately started calling because I couldn't understand how I was there for over 12 hours and never
nobody
knew.
told you.
Yeah, and of course, they never called me back. Ever.
Whoa, wow.
Wow.
I just think the disrespect and disregard for life, for family, like...
I think on top of that, they just knew something specifically fishy was going on. They just wanted to cover it up.
This was the beginning of the cover-up.
Yeah, exactly. There was a huge...
There was people there that understood that this was a huge mistake, and then they just went for a cover-up. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, same.
It's as hurtful as it is. It's just with the narrative they tried to put out at first and how they tried to criminalize me and Breonna is even more the reason why I just feel the need to keep speaking.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why God kept me alive.
I just want to know how any of this is justified.
Me, as a legal gun owner, shoot from inside, protecting my home, and go to jail immediately for murder of a police officer before anybody even...
Attempted murder.
It was murder. The first time when I went, I want to say like court or something like, and then they came back. So that's crazy too. I think the only crime I committed that night was being black.
Right. Yeah.
Keep walking backward!
Kenny's charges were amended to assault and attempted murder of a police officer, a crime that carries a sentence of 20 years in prison. Kenny was locked up and heartbroken. He could not even attend Breonna's funeral or any of the memorial services. It took a full year for a judge to permanently dismiss all charges. To this day, Kenny is the only person to have served jail time in this case.
Kenny was the only one who went to jail. The injustices are just infuriating.
Janiyah, you lived with your big sister, Breonna. Where were you that night?
I was in California.
Tell us about your big sister.
There's really no way to describe her because she just was her.
Yeah.
She was like a second mom.
Yeah, she was definitely trying to tell you what to do.
She was. She thought she was my mama. We're 6 years and 6 months apart.
Right. Aw. Can I just ask you guys, what kind of healing process have you had through this?
I don't think I've ever gotten a chance to grieve. It turned into this huge ordeal for simply trying to figure out what happened to her. It's like we're the only people in the world saying that she didn't deserve it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And you're fighting the whole world.
Yeah.
And nobody's listening.
Yeah.
So you can't let go. You can't grieve.
Right. Because this is a lot.
I just thank God for them because they still love me. They know how much I loved her.
Yeah.
So they're really the only reason I'm even, okay here today. I don't know if I've ever said this before publicly, but like before all this, I would have never thought I would go see like a therapist.
Yeah.
And then on top of, as a black man, just kind of naturally taught that that's not like...
the thing to do.
Yeah, so, but I mean, I'm beyond that now because I ran out of options.
Yes.
I didn't know what else to do. I was hurting all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? I cried a lot. I still cry to this day, but I definitely had to start seeing therapists. So now, just trying to deal with the loss of Breonna, I have to deal with my everyday mental struggles everywhere. Like, I don't feel real comfortable. I just moved in a place by myself for the first time, and my gun is definitely right there by my bed. Definitely paranoid. Nobody knows where I live.
It's that PTSD.
Exactly.
It's the PTSD.
I'm real fearful of a lot of things. As much as it hurts, I have to keep pushing. And as much strength as they give me, some days I'm just like,
Yeah.
Like, I just can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, but I know that I have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard.
It is. But I'm really happy that you found someone you can talk to because this right here has been a devastating experience.
100%.
Have you ever gone back to the apartment?
I do it all the time. I go over there and just sit in the parking lot a lot.
Really? Like, does it make you feel closer to her or
Yeah.
anything?
It just gives a sense of relief sometimes, just to like be in the same.
Yeah.
The last space you were with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't never think of it like that. I might have to go over there with you.
Right.
Aww. And Tamika, I feel like you've gotten caught up in the fight.
Yeah.
And that has been your saving grace. But also I'm wondering if it's keeping the focus off of your own healing because you've been so busy with the fight for justice for her.
Absolutely. Of course, people keep telling me that I need to, you know, seek counseling, but I don't have the time. Like, people are still dying and being killed by the police. You would think between George and Breonna and Ahmaud, like, that these officers would not want to move crooked, but every day there's still more happening. And I remember needing people to stand up for me and needing people to say Breonna's name. So now I'm this person to go and stand up for other people.
And that is part of the healing
That's
process.
It becomes too much because there's still people who have the nerves to say she got what she deserved. And,
oh my gosh.
You know, you hang out with drug dealers, this is what happens. Or Kenny got her killed. Even after the FBI, the DOJ, everybody are telling you all the things that went wrong in this process, and people will still blame her for what happened. It becomes so much.
Yeah.
You've been labeled a drug dealer and a thug. And
all kinds of stuff.
Nobody just wants to do the simple research.
The simple research. And because to clearly say, I don't know how many times I have to tell people, they were not there for Kenny. What are you even talking about?
Exactly.
Like, what story are you watching?
My name wasn't even on the fake warrant.
Right,
You know,
right.
like-
the fake warrant.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm gonna call it. I just try to protect myself and Breonna.
That's right.
And I was legal while doing it.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's the part. You
Yeah.
were legal while doing
Yeah,
it.
like I didn't,
Absolutely.
I didn't cross state lines with a bunch of illegal guns to just harm a bunch of random people.
Yeah.
I didn't like, you know,
You
I
were
was
in the house with your girlfriend. Somebody knocked on the door 3 times and didn't say who they were. And then the door got busted down. You were protecting yours. So we got our very good friend.
Yes, Tamika Mallory.
Tamika Mallory, social justice warrior, is the reason so many of us even know Breonna Taylor's name. She has been a relentless voice for Breonna and this beautiful family.
Absolutely.
What's up, Tamika?
Hey, family. It's too many people I love in one room.
Hey, honey.
Tamika, first of all, I just want to give you your flowers right here and now because you, from day one, were on top of this. You've been boots on the ground. Because of you, our family got involved.
I thank you all so much because you all supported us and believed in us. Jada and your family, everybody. Willow was there. We were in the living room talking like, this what we gonna do. We going to Louisville.
What we need is justice for our sister, Breonna. And that's why we are here today. And that's why my family is here today. And from one family to another, to Tamika, we wanted to come here, show our love, and amplify your voice, and amplify the life of your daughter. I love you.
Thank y'all so much for having me on. I feel really emotional just trying to be part of this conversation. I've been fighting for male victims of police brutality my whole life. Breonna Taylor was the first woman that from start to finish I was engaged in with Until Freedom, my organization that I'm co-founder with 3 other really incredible individuals. And we said, you can't just kill this black woman and get away with it.
You had a speech that went viral that I really think got culture moving.
This is not a good cop versus bad cop situation. This is Ahmaud Arbery being shot down by white men on the streets of Georgia. Breonna Taylor being killed in her home. And so we are in a state of emergency. Black people are dying in a state of emergency. Enough is enough. And there's an easy way to stop it. Arrest the cops. Charge the cops. Charge all the cops. Not just some of them. Charge them in every city across America where our people are being murdered. That's the bottom line. Charge the cops. Do your job. Do what you say this country is supposed to be about, the land of the free for all. It has not been free for black people, and we are tired.
There you go.
That's it.
That's it.
When I first saw that,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was that passion that really put fire under a lot of us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here we are again.
Yeah, here we are.
Wanting the cops to be charged, and they've been charged, but not for killing Breonna, which is so infuriating to me.
It's now exactly 5 months since Louisville police used a no-knock warrant to bust into Breonna Taylor's apartment and then kill her. Yet there are no arrests or charges.
When the world found out about Breonna Taylor, millions were outraged that the police involved had not been charged. Hundreds showed up at the home of Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, demanding justice. 87 were arrested, including Tamika Mallory.
This is Tamika Mallory being arrested for no reason.
We have fallout from the grand jury decision in Louisville, Kentucky. No police officers charged in the shooting death of Breonna Taylor.
That decision sparked more massive protests around the world.
Our investigation showed that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified in the return of deadly fire after having been fired upon by Kenneth Walker.
Members of the grand jury accused Cameron of protecting the officers from homicide charges and lying about it. They called for his impeachment.
3 jurors complained that they were limited in what crimes they could consider.
All 7 officers who were at the scene, John Mattingly, Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankerson, Mike Nobles, Michael Campbell, Anthony James, Sean Hoover, are all free men. Cameron is still in office. But just 2 months ago, new charges were filed. This case involves 3 additional officers who were not present the night Breonna was killed.
Earlier today, I spoke with the family of Breonna Taylor. This morning, they were informed that the Justice Department has charged 4 current and former Louisville Metro Police Department officers with federal crimes related to Ms. Taylor's death. Those alleged crimes include civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction offenses.
Goodlett has already pleaded guilty. Trials are set to begin early next year.
Breonna Taylor should be alive today.
I want to make it clear so people understand this wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was 4 months, then 2 years of real struggle. And, you know, Jada, you got the calls from us, from me saying, I just don't even know like what to do at this point. We were losing our minds because we knew the warrant was a lie. We were treated like criminals by the state of Kentucky, by the city of Louisville. We had surveillance over the homes that we lived in, that we rented for the 4 months that we were living there. At times we would wake up in the middle of the night and it would be 30 to 40 police cars circling the community where we were living. We had neighbors that didn't want us there. We were being arrested for protests and demonstrations. We had to do all of that to try to get a little bit of justice for one black woman.
It's too much.
And trying to fight the corruption that's in the city with the police department, you know, like, what's his name? Daniel
Cameron. Let me
now
tell
he's
you.
running for governor. Like, that's
No way.
That's insult on top of insult.
We're going back to Kentucky for Daniel Cameron.
Please.
I'm going to watch my mouth as I speak here today. But I'm just telling you that Daniel Cameron, to me, is disgusting. To learn that they were only going to indict one officer for the wall, the neighbor's walls, where no one was even harmed on the other side, but still not for Breonna Taylor.
Right.
The jurors themselves came forward. They said, if we had been presented with those charges, we would have indicted. That's what we were looking for. And that's not what they were presented with.
And that was the whole point of the grand jury.
And for Daniel Cameron to put forth his name to run for governor, because the streets knew about the warrant. The streets knew about all the dirty things that happened that night. So you can't tell me that your office couldn't find out. And if they couldn't, then everyone there is incompetent and the entire office needs to be shut down. So you definitely don't need to go run for governor, because you can't even find information that Pookie has on the street right now. You can go outside and ask Pookie and he will tell you about the warrant being a lie. So how you going to be the governor and run the entire state of Kentucky?
Right.
Since we're all in the legal aspect,
we're going to bring somebody on.
Yeah, we're going to bring CNN's brilliant senior legal analyst and former federal prosecutor, Laura Coates.
Hey, I'm so happy to see you all, but gosh, for this, it's so hard. I'm so sorry to the family. It is so unbelievable to think that this is where we are.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because the work I do is trying to make sense of things. So much of our history in this country is about making the law confusing. It's about being able to exploit those who are relatively powerless to say, I don't know what this means. I better go ahead and tune out. And therefore, I'm no longer powerful. Therefore, I no longer have a sense that I can do something about it.
Can you possibly explain why they are not able to get a direct charge of the killing of Breonna Taylor?
There's a thing called the benefit of the doubt. It makes it very difficult at times for police officers to be charged to the full extent of the law, because there's a Supreme Court case, Graham versus Connor, that essentially says, look, we are going to allow the actions of a police officer when they use force, excessive or otherwise, to be judged not by all of us, but instead through the lens and perspective of other officers. And that sounds a lot like allowing the fox to guard the hen house, right? And so this case law has been interpreted to mean might be too difficult to pursue a charge against an officer, because the overwhelming amount of history in this country has been to say the benefit of the doubt goes to the person in the uniform, not to the person who has been victimized.
Why can't the case be brought back to the grand jury in Kentucky now that all the information has been revealed?
I don't know why they have chosen not to do so. They certainly could. It is very routine that sometimes a grand jury decides that they don't want to indict at this time. And guess what prosecutors do? Bring a new grand jury or bring more information, and they charge that person later. It doesn't have this finite period in time.
So legally they could do it. They just have chosen not to so far.
But they certainly have the opportunity to bring charges. It is important to break down where we are in the case that's happening now. There is the warrant itself, the application for the warrant. For a warrant to be issued, you have to have an affidavit that says, look, I, as a member of law enforcement, here are the things that I know to be true. I have this evidence. So, judge, allow me to walk into somebody's home. Allow me to do this because I've got a thing called probable cause, that a crime has been committed and I'm likely to find evidence of a crime at the location I'm telling you about. And the judges will issue these search warrants because they believe that because it's an affidavit, they're being told the truth.
Right.
Now, what happened here and why the federal government is now charging these officers with a crime is because they have said that they knowingly put false information on that warrant, that they knowingly failed to include certain things that would have led the judge to say, there's no reason or basis for you to have a warrant executed on this person's home. So the allegations are that they lied about things, misled aspects to get that warrant and enter the home. The DOJ is saying, hold on, you mean to tell me you guys knew that there was no reason to be in this place? No. A crime has been committed. But the really important part is the cover-up what took place afterwards. The fact that this information was false, as the allegations say, or misleading in any way, was known to the officers involved in actually drafting that warrant request. And they met and tried to talk about, now the person has died. How are we going to make it look like we didn't do the wrong thing? So now they have a conspiracy charge that says they attempted to mislead the investigators and obstruct justice. The most disturbing part of these allegations, I'm talking about people who have sworn to an oath of office, people who have put on a uniform, conspiring to cover up when a woman's body was left as if she was not the human being and the daughter and the sister and the girlfriend and the child of God she is. All of this is part of why you'll hear a phrase called the color of law. That these officers are acting under the color of law, meaning they use their badge allegedly to be able to harm someone without consequence.
Wow. So that makes the loss of her even that much more infuriating and nonsensical.
Right.
Because they had no business there in the first place.
Right.
And they knew it.
We're going to stay on top of this legal perspective as we're going to bring in Breonna's superstar legal team. We have Ben Crump, one of the most powerful civil rights attorneys in the country, and Lonita Baker, the newly elected president of the National Bar Association. Congratulations! Ben, I'm going to let you take the table for a second.
Well, first of all, I am humbled, Jada, to be with these brilliant black women. Attorney Lonita Baker,
Yes.
our National Bar President, Attorney Laura Coates,
Yes.
the most brilliant person on CNN,
Yep.
and then Tamika Mallory, who
Yes.
I call co-counsel. And so, Gammy asked a question, and it gets to the crux of the matter. Why won't they bring a new grand jury to hear the matter about Breonna being killed? And Gammy, your question is so profound because the status quo in America is to treat black women as if they don't matter, that they're irrelevant.
Right.
Breonna Taylor has become symbolic for the struggle of justice for black women in America. That's why we have to continue to say Breonna's name. And these other black women like Pamela Turner, that video is probably the worst one I've seen since George Floyd.
Yeah.
Atiana Jefferson, another black woman in her home, shot by the police through the window. And the latest one that Tamika Mallory and Lonita and I are working on, Breonna Greer in Georgia, a black woman having a mental health crisis who needed a helping hand, but yet she's in the backseat handcuffed and she falls out of the car on the highway, handcuffed, and crack her skull in 2 places and is in a coma for 6 days before she dies, leaving her 3-year-old twin daughters in the world. And that's why this Red Table Show is so important, because so often we just sweep black women's deaths under the rug when they are killed by police.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lonita, when you first met Kenny, was it just as impossible for you to comprehend as it is for us sitting at this table?
I knew he was telling the truth. And the one thing I always say about Kenny, his story has been steadfast. Like, he remembers every detail. And I can imagine, like, it's burned into his head, just the trauma there. And as the evidence started to come out, you realize he's here because we needed him to tell this story.
Right. Laura was saying earlier that the way the system is structured is meant to be daunting.
Right.
It's meant to seem like too much to handle.
Right. And that you meant for you
to feel powerless.
To feel powerless.
Allow me to briefly respond to that, because I know you all have a big audience, and that's what they always want to say, that is so complicated. I continue to refute that. It's only when it's a black person killed do they say it's such a complicated, daunting task. I believe in my heart, had Breonna Taylor been a young white woman, they would have had charges by the local prosecutor, and it would not have taken 2.5 years. it is not difficult until you say it's a black victim.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, this is going to be so hard. And I keep saying, no, y'all, this is not a hard case. If it was a white citizen, this would be an open and shut case.
Yeah. I go back and forth between whether it's the system that's messed up or it's the people behind the system. And more, I think it's the people behind the system.
Yeah.
If I could just say, we all know that in this country, money makes the world go round. The more value that we know a human life holds, the more it acts as a deterrent for officers to do the wrong thing.
Exactly. We have to make sure that it is so expensive to kill a black person unjustly that it no longer is a good business model.
And I think the more that cities start paying, they're going to hold their officers accountable.
It just starts to be something that they can't continue because they can't sustain paying out $12 million, $27 million. These numbers are unprecedented.
Amen.
The city of Louisville had never paid out $12 million for anyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
In this, I never once thought about money, you know. I needed to know these people kept lying about what happened to Breonna and they didn't care.
You wanted justice.
Yeah. And so my thought was somebody needs to pay for what happened to her. And Lonita was like, well, in most of these cases, you'll get money long before you get criminal charges. And I'm like, well, I don't want nothing to do with that. And she's like, I know now how that works, but for me, there was no dollar amount that you could say that was going to make it okay.
Right. Yeah.
And I needed people to understand that.
I want us to understand that we are making progress. It is a journey to justice. There are over 100 cities now that have Breonna Taylor laws in effect.
Yes.
Breonna Taylor no-knock warrant bans.
Yes.
There were as many of our white brothers and sisters standing with us saying her name.
Yep.
And so we have to continue to believe in our heart that the enemies of equality will not win this war.
That's right. Well, Ben, thank you so much.
Jada, thank you and your family for having this important conversation, because we're standing up and fighting for black people, and in this case, for black women. And the only way we get victory, the only way we get justice is we stay together. You using your platform, Jada, as Martin Luther King said, we all have a role to play in the struggle for justice and equality.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for all that you do for us, and thank you for uplifting all the strong, intelligent black women around you. Yes. Thank you for that, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And Kenny, brother, we with you.
Yeah, thank you for not giving up. Laura, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Tamika, appreciate you. Thank you. Is there anything you guys want to close out with?
For me, this was the hardest fight I've ever had in my entire life. I'm grateful for everybody who's ever said Breonna's name, who's ever told her story, and who's ever wanted to know the truth.
Yeah.
Right. I just want to thank, the people who did take the time out to actually chase justice. And I want people out there to know that, I lost everything in this situation, not just only the person I loved more than anybody in this world. I lost, everything. I'm still just out here trying to put my life back together to be, a normal person. So that's it. And I love Bree forever.
Yeah.